like regularly updates because we have guys that are it's their entire job is to to look up those diseases. Ah, we'll see. We'll see. Like, I get that it's very infectious, um, but is it very deadly? Is the thing. Like, cases are one thing, but yeah, the flu is worse than that. So I don't know. I think if you do your standard precautions like hand washing, maybe now like I'd probably want to avoid very public areas like trains, airports, and all that stuff. But I don't know. If you're otherwise healthy, you're uh, unlikely to get like serious harmful outcomes from it.
Hey, what's up?
So, dude, I should probably go to sleep. I've just been talking with some dudes about interviews and stuff. Actually, no, not on the alliance side. We no, yeah, our hunter. So I had a question about the level ranges for Scarlet Monastery, since the Meeting Stone has it until level 45, just in general, but each subsection has a recommended level range on Wowhead. Does that mean you can do every single section up until level 45, or do you do the sections as they're meant to be done, like at a lower level range up to 45 eventually? How far have you gotten, you guys, so far? Oh shit. Oh my god. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what? I shit. Yeah, I'm tied for second place now on the alliance side. Pie's slowing down. Yeah, but like none of us are verifiable. I don't think. Iron Hunt didn't start recording until the mid-20s. I didn't start recording until I was 18. I don't think Pie started recording right away either.
Greetings.
So like, we'll get up there and then it'll be like, okay, well, since you don't have a full bot, we can't verify you. And then Demon's at level 38 with me, and he for some reason he finished streaming today on YouTube and it didn't get saved.
Be careful.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's like a delay or what. So yeah, if it doesn't get saved, that's like 4 hours of video that he doesn't have.
Sug sug.
That means his run would essentially get ruined. So that'd be bad. All right, man. I gotta. It's time to call it. Yeah.
For the Horde.
How may I aid you? May the eternal sun shine upon thee.
Loktar. Dabu.
And there we have it. I did a story on the coronavirus earlier today, and now we're getting breaking news coming out just a little bit later after my video. The CDC has basically said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Please, for Pete's sake, go to the store calmly, stock up on some supplies. They are saying expect significant disruption in our lives. Coronavirus is here. For those that didn't see my update earlier today, you may have. Italy had a few isolated cases, and they don't know how it got so bad. But in China, there's something like 70,000+. It is everywhere, and the CDC is saying it is coming. Schools will be closed. Business will be disrupted. I hope you are taking things seriously. You will regret it. Let's read the story from the Daily Mail. It's no longer a question of if, but when. The coronavirus will spread in the U.S., CDC officials said on Tuesday as they told parents to prepare their children for the possibility of school closures. The CDC said Americans need to prepare for teleschooling should the virus continue to spread throughout the U.S. So far, 57 cases have been confirmed, 14 in the nation, 40 from citizens repatriated from the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan, and 3 evacuated from China. And although the threat is currently low, Dr. Nancy Messonnier, CDC's director of the Center for the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Disease, says the public needs to prepare if the virus becomes a pandemic. It's not so much a question of if this will happen in this country anymore, but a question of when this will happen, she told reporters in a media call on Tuesday. We are asking the American public to prepare for the expectation that this might be bad. You have been warned by your government. You've been warned by me. And here's why I told you a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, to go to the store and do not let anyone shame you. Because now the rush starts. We've already seen what happened in Italy with the store shelves being raided. I'm going to tell you this. The CDC just gave us the warning. Prepare for this. Well, guess what? I've already bought my food and water. What about you? Do you have your flashlights? Do you have your batteries? I don't think the world is going to end. We're not talking about mass chaos in the streets. We're talking about significant disruption. That means, look, I was in New York after Sandy. You could not get gas for your car. I hope you filled up the tank. I hope you're ready to sit down and chill for a couple weeks. Supply lines are going to shrink. Economies are going to retract. It's going to get bad, and the CDC is saying it. I am absolutely disgusted by these news outlets that were poo-pooing and just ignoring this. Listen, when this story first broke, I had the attitude of the flu was bad. Come on. I don't think it'll get that bad. But I read the stories, I fact check, I Google, I was reading what was coming out of these countries to make sure I was on top of exactly what was going down. But these other air quote journalists weren't doing that. So even last week when I'm saying just buy some water, don't let people shame you, they're tweeting things like, what is this silly nonsense? It's just in China. The flu is worse. Well, now the CDC has come out and they're saying we are asking the American public to prepare for the expectation that this might be bad. Prepare for the expectation. I love that. They're still dancing a fine line. They're worried that if they come out and say, go buy stuff now, that people would freak out. So prepare for the expectation that it might be bad. Okay, calm down. Just tell people to get ready. Things are probably going to get bad. Plain and simple. Let's read a little bit more. Dr. Messiaen is so concerned that she suggested that parents call their children's schools and ask if there are plans for children to attend class over the internet or via video chat should the buildings need to close. In fact, she told reporters she has already called her own children's school to ask how it would handle closures due to the outbreak. Dr. Messiaen said, although the threat of coronavirus in the U.S. is currently slim, the infection's international spread abroad makes containment at the U.S. border and within the nation increasingly difficult. Now let me just reiterate this point to all the morons on Twitter who are like, how is the border wall going to protect us? She just said it, you idiots. Listen, the infection's international spread abroad makes containment at the U.S. border and within the nation increasingly difficult. 1 million people trying to walk in through the southern border, and Trump started building a massive border barrier bollard fencing. Now, the main argument that Trump and the Democrats were having was over morality and legalization. Nobody was talking about pandemics, but here we are. You want to make a good argument for a wall? There it is. The CDC is freaking out. Therefore, she suggested recommendations that the public could take if the virus reaches pandemic-like levels. At a community level, this means reducing face-to-face contact in schools, and officers are replacing in-person meetings with teleschooling and teleconferencing. I had a conversation with my family over breakfast this morning, and I told my children that, while I didn't think they were at risk, right now we as a family need to be preparing for significant disruption in our lives. She said she called her children's school and asked if there are plans for teleschooling. They say, however, other health experts have advised parents not to overreact and pull their children out of school. Definitely don't overreact. No, I'm sorry. Definitely don't panic. A little overreaction is justified so long as you do it calmly. Underreaction can be bad. They cite, I'm going to stop right now too. Shout out to all of you who have commented, because I've seen your comments saying, Tim, it's going to get worse. Tim, it's going to get bad. I called it. I knew it. I've seen all the comments from you guys, and you were right. In the beginning, they were like, the flu is worse. It's SARS. We'll get a couple hundred deaths. Don't worry about it. Now here's the warning from the CDC. Now, Trump is trying to say, it's under control. Keep calm. I respect this within reason. They're saying they have it contained. They might not. But it is important you do not panic. I do not like the approach of telling everybody everything will be okay if it won't. I like an honest approach. Listen, if you panic, you will make things worse. Your life will get worse if you panic. but this will get bad. So calmly set up a plan, write things down with your family, take charge. One of the worst things you can do in any circumstance, in any emergency, is panic. When your brain is in panic mode, your chance of survival decreases, depending on the circumstance. You know, I think that's fair to say. But when you need a cohesive plan over how you're going to deal with something as bad as this, then you cannot panic. But you also can't underestimate, and you also can't have an optimism bias. So they cite the number of infections among children are low, and that when symptoms do appear, they're mild. The literature is only reporting about 100 or so pediatric cases. Dr. Terry Lynn Stillwell, a pediatric infectious disease expert at Mott Children's Hospital, told NPR. Worldwide, more than 80,000 people have been infected with coronavirus, and more than 2,700 people have died, mostly older patients with pre-existing conditions. We'll scroll down, you got a bunch of photos. During the media call, Dr. Messiner, I can't pronounce it, also gave an update on test kits, some of which were flawed, that were sent to state and local health departments. Currently, 12 states and localities have working test kits, but it's unclear which states and cities have them. I am frustrated, like I know many of you are, that we have had issues with our tests. I want to assure you that we are working to modify the kit and hope to send out a new version to state and local jurisdictions soon. She added that 400 samples were tested at the CDC on Monday night, and that there is currently no backlog despite the defective tests. So we get it. She says, I am deeply concerned. We're way behind the 8 ball on this, said Senator Patty Murray, a Democrat from Washington, during a Tuesday Senate Appropriations Subcommittee hearing. We see that the White House has requested $2.5 billion to fund better tracking of the virus, treatment development, and ramped up production of a stockpile of 300 million face masks and protective gear for U.S. healthcare workers. We're also hearing that the U.S. Senate Democrats are requesting $3.1 billion to battle the coronavirus, while Trump is saying that it will go away, but the CDC is saying it will spread. Speaking to reporters in New Delhi, India, President Trump expressed confidence the outbreak is going to work out fine and will go away. Trump is right.
How you doing,
and
man?
I think it's important he keeps a calm demeanor and does push back a little bit. We've got 80,000 infections, okay? It's mostly older people that are dying, but some younger people have died as well, which is why this is a serious issue. It's not the plague or the apocalypse, but it's something that should be taken seriously because the risk and the mortality rate are enough to disrupt economics. So there may be supply line interruptions. We're already seeing it. That means when you go to the store, some people are probably going to buy too much. Food will probably go bad. What can I say? Some people are going to panic. Don't do that. Buy what you need. Do not overbuy. Do not take too much that you can't have, because then we're going to be lacking massive supplies. But I do think now is the time. You know what I'm doing right after the filming of this video? I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to get my car, I'm going to go to Costco, and I'm going to do what the CDC told me to do and prepare for the expectations this may get bad. Whatever that sentence is supposed to mean, I think I get the warning. This lady is really worried, and she works for the CDC. Let me tell you.
We stood with Arthur in the Great War.
I'm actually getting really, really mad at this point. I gotta be completely honest. Joe Biden is clearly, he is beyond the age of retirement. He needs to stop this, and the people around him need to stop propping him up, and these crony elites in the Democratic Party need to stop pushing this guy. He is done. He needs to retire. Look at this tweet from the other day. Joe Biden claimed tonight that he worked with Chinese leader Deng Xiaoping on the Paris Climate Accord, except the current Chinese president is Xi Jinping, and Deng Xiaoping left office in '92, has been dead for 23 years. Joe Biden, he's out of it. It's about time he just relaxed. You've earned it, man. For all the good, for all the bad, for all the disagreements, you did your thing. It's time to just go home and relax. That's not the only video coming out in the past couple days. It's getting really, really bad. I mean this. Deng Xiaoping, guy's been dead for 23 years, and now this. Biden is running for the Senate? I mean, look, he said it. Does this mean he's no longer running for presidency? He's running for the Senate in South Carolina? Joe Biden, at an event, said, that I'm running for the U.S. Senate, and if you don't like me, vote for the other Biden. What? Vote for the other Biden? What other Biden? What are you talking about? Do you mean other candidates? This dude is old. And so I've got these stories, but I really need to talk about the age of the frontrunners. Yes, Joe Biden is still polling very well. I don't believe it, never did, but they're calling him a frontrunner. Bernie Sanders. Doctor says that Bernie Sanders is hiding one key metric of his heart health from the public, which would dispel or fuel doubts about his long-term health after his October heart attack. And I did talk about this recently, that one report said Bernie Sanders has a 35% chance of having a heart attack again before November. It's substantive. They're both nearly 80 years old. Now, to Bernie's credit, he knows where he is. His brain seems to be working, to a certain degree, in that he's been, he's not demented like he's not becoming senile, but he does believe stupid things, right? So I'll give him credit that his brain works insofar as he has having
Strength
sound
and honor.
function. I'll leave it there. I'll stop. I'm already getting in enough trouble. Let's read the story.
Let the games begin.
Every day we get closer to the removal of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from Congress. In just 4 months from today, we will see a primary in her district, and she is facing several Democratic primary challengers. This is the first pitfall. She only got around 17,000 votes in the first primary, and she knows she could be removed, going as far as to say, I'm not going to come here every 2 years asking for your votes. I want to invest in this community. That quote alone says to me she knows she might not win this primary. Outside of that, she's facing a ton of Republican challengers in the general election. Now, I'm not super worried for her in that regard because I'm not sure a Republican could win, but hey, it's possible. But more importantly, the Democratic establishment controls redistricting for her district, and it's very likely they are going to remove her district. At least that's what many people think. From all of the data we can see, it looks like she's very unpopular. And one of the biggest pitfalls for AOC lately has been bail reform, which is not popular in New York. And even Governor Cuomo is taking a hit because of it. She is now coming out saying, no, please wait. We just passed this law. We must give it time. But already we're hearing of crime sprees and or a revolving door of crime, because bail reform, for those that aren't familiar, basically says that for certain low-level crimes, they can't charge a cash bond, which means someone accused of a crime can just get right out, and people in New York are not happy with this. So AOC is launching an offensive to try and keep her seat. But I think she knows the Democrats will redistrict and she will lose. The district will be gone. She won't have a seat to run for. Now she can try and run in whatever district ends up becoming her district, but then she'll be up against an incumbent, which would be pretty difficult. Already, she's called for mass census participation in an effort to keep her district safe, as well as mass voter turnout.
A silver car.
Correct.
Aaron wants Ernest Wallace and Carlos Ortiz around him that night. 12:22 a.m., Odin Lloyd, waiting for Hernandez to come pick him up, texts Aaron and says, "We still on?"
Look at the nature of this murder. The car pulls down there. Nobody's around. No traffic. It's dark. No eyewitnesses. This place, a perfect location to commit a homicide. 4 people in the car. Odin Lloyd's in the rear passenger seat. A shot was fired in that car. The shell casing's under the front seat. We know Odin Lloyd began to get out of the car. This defendant's out of the car, and he plants his footprint. The next shot being in his arm. Then the next shot through the clavicle and out the back. And then as he's ducking down, the one that is shot from the back of the neck and runs through down along his spine. He's now been disabled. He's laying on the ground. There's 2 final shots that are put into him.
Exactly where the body was actually very hard, almost ledge-like, very hard stone. I don't think there's any trees there anymore, but there was a lot of trees in the area. There were mounds of dirt, lots of grass.
And any sources of lighting, like street lamps or anything in the area where the body was?
No.
Homes nearby?
No.
And in that general area, when you got down to the body, just describe what you saw.
What appeared to me as bullet wounds to his chest and a bullet wound to his right flank. Blood around it. There were flies around it, and there were flies around his nose also.
May I state your full name, please?
Ursula Ward.
And are you the mother of Odin Lloyd?
Yes.
And you understand you're to be called as a witness in this case?
Yes.
And did we have a conversation about a picture that I would show you?
Yes.
And do you recall making an identification of your son's body at the medical examiner's office back in June of 2013?
Yes.
When Ursula Ward was called to the stand, she talked about her son, and she had been under strict instructions from the judge that if you show any emotion, it could prejudice the jury. You could just see how she was trying to control her emotions as she spoke about what happened.
You recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a picture of your son?
Yes.
And when you saw that, that was at the medical examiner's office?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Hey, you. I don't want to go back to where we were, so let's just move forward. I know, I just get so angry because this should have never happened. No, it'll be okay. And listening to all that shit, it's like, oh my God.
All of a sudden, one day, that became big news. The murder and the fact that the police were investigating Aaron Hernandez, and that was when I realized, oh, he has a mansion. Oh, he has a girlfriend. Oh, he has a baby. He lives in a mansion. It showed him on TV, you know, being taken out, arrested.
Can't do that yet. Not enough energy.
You know, as a possible murderer.
I don't have enough energy.
How the Hernandez issue impact on the Patriot organization?
Well, it's one of the saddest things that's happened in my tenure of ownership.
What did you know about him? I mean,
I think we've said a lot on the issue, and he was, everything I ever saw about him was first class in the building.
Your Honor, if I call the next witness, Robert Kraft, please.
So when Robert Kraft came to testify at the Odin Lloyd trial, Aaron Hernandez's worlds collided. Here was the first time a patriot or anyone involved with the organization stepped foot in the courtroom. And here comes the billionaire owner of the team, you know, the man who, you know, made his dreams come true. He's outside the double doors. And Hernandez, as soon as he hears that, he looks over his shoulder 6 times before Kraft came in the courtroom. Kraft was one of the few people with the Patriots organization that Hernandez was known to have contact with during the period that he was a suspect.
Okay, and what do you do for work, sir?
Whatever they ask me to do.
Did you have an opportunity to have a conversation with the defendant?
I understood there was an incident that had transpired. Any player who comes into our system, I consider part of our extended family, and I wanted to get him help.
And what did he say when you had asked him whether he was involved in this matter?
He said he was not involved, that he was innocent, and that he hoped that the time of the murder incident came out because I believe he said he was in a club.
Robert Kraft was a key witness for the prosecution because he recalled how Aaron Hernandez said to him, oh, you know, I can't wait for the timeline on this to come out because I was clubbing when all this was going on. So he's lying about his whereabouts and the cameras would show that. And also he's saying that he knows what time everything happened. I remember jurors later on said, how could you have known the timeline? That really helped build the case against him.
When you went to leave, did he say anything else to you?
He hugged and kissed me and thanked me for my concern.
His attorneys did, in closing, allow that Hernandez was at the scene of the crime. And the jurors were somewhat surprised.
They had to digest the stunning 180 during defense closing arguments, putting Hernandez at the scene of the crime.
He was a 23-year-old kid who had witnessed something. A shocking killing committed by somebody he knew. He really didn't know what to do.
Hernandez's defense was it wasn't me, it was Ortiz and Wallace. They were the ones that were dangerous. Aaron was just caught up in it and he was scared of them because they were so violent.
The prosecution played a soundless clip of Hernandez and Carlos Ortiz and Ernest Wallace the day after. It was just left to play.
If these guys are murderers, if you just watch them kill somebody and your fear for your own life, you don't hand them your own baby. You get in a car and bail out of there as fast as possible.
There was no remorse, there was no concern on Hernandez's face in those images. For the jury to absorb that scene and to know the heartbreak and humiliation that the Odin Lloyd's family went through, and to contrast that with the millionaire patriot who just went about his life as if nothing happened, you know, that made it very real.
I'm out of range.
That would be consistent with somebody that didn't see themselves as attached to what really happened. And that certainly is one of the characteristics of a sociopath.
The evidence on that video that shows you what is his intent. You know, yelling at somebody, you know, what did you do? Grabbing him, shaking him? You just killed my friend? There's none of that. After serving them smoothies and having lunch with them and laying around the pool all afternoon and having them play with your baby? What is he doing? Fist pumps, hugs. Does that appear to be somebody who's upset about what's happened? That his friend is laying out in the field as he's breaking, as his skin begins to slip? Inconsistent.
If you can push away something that you're responsible for and find a way to justify it, that's not something everybody is capable of doing, and he was very good at it. I often wondered, would there ever be a point where he would crack and realize, well, this is it?
Well, there's a chance that like they were saying, like that there's different types of degrees that some they might convict you of one type that might be like.
DJ, if I get convicted, there ain't no fucking. I'm getting life in prison with no parole. There ain't no fucking second degree with me. If they're convicting me, I'm getting the top of the line.
Don't have enough.
The jury was out for a week, 7 days, working a full day each time. And as the old rule goes, the longer it takes, the better chance you might have of getting an acquittal.
Many people have asked me, do I think the state's got a lock on the case? Believe it or not, no, I don't. I believe that there is a mountain of evidence showing that Hernandez murdered Lloyd. Here's the problem. He's a sports superstar.
How are you?
Do I have to say O.J. Simpson? There's never a lock on any case, ever.
I've never been in a room with more tension. You know, when a verdict comes in a first-degree murder case.
You may bring in the jurors.
What is the jury thinking at this point?
Madam Foreperson, on indictment 2013-983-A,
too far away.
Charging the defendant Aaron Hernandez with murder. What say you, Madam Foreperson? Is the defendant not guilty, guilty of murder in the first degree, or guilty of murder in the second degree?
Guilty of murder in the first degree.
Madam Foreperson, by which theory or theories, deliberate premeditation and/or extreme atrocity or cruelty?
Extreme atrocity or cruelty.
I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy.
Members of the jury, I want to thank all of you very, very much for giving your valuable time to hear and decide this case. I also understand that it is not easy to sit in judgment of a fellow human being.
I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. That ability
I miss my baby boy Odin so much, but I know I'm gonna see him someday again. And that is giving me the strength to go on. I forgive the hands of the people that had a hand in my son's murder. And I pray and hope that someday everyone out there will forgive them also.
not ready yet. I don't have enough energy.
I have to commend Ursula, Odin Lloyd's mother, because of the power she carried. Because I know I could never do that. If that was my son or my daughter, I could never do that because the anger would just, and I remember seeing her talk a bunch of times, and just the way she carried and presented herself was amazing.
I don't have enough energy.
Convicted killer Aaron Hernandez beginning his life sentence in Walpole. Soon the former Patriot star will be transferred to his permanent home, the Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center in Shirley, Massachusetts. As he sits behind bars, Hernandez will be preparing to face 2 more murder charges.
I was in Shirley, Max, for I think probably 6 or 7 years for drug trafficking. The prison's built so if there's an issue, they can lock the whole place down like instantly. There's all these major doors, everything's controlled by computer. The fences outside are like electrified. I've seen so many fights. I was telling Aaron what to expect when he got up there, and who to hang out with, and which side of the prison to try to go on to.
So, I gotta tell you something before you hear from anybody else.
What?
Tanya's going to get a biopsy on Thursday. Her cancer grew.
Yeah.
It's in the one in her chest grew. They all grew. The one in her liver, the one in her chest, and the one in her lungs grew. What's it called? It's in God's hands, and God's gonna make her okay. Gotta keep the faith and keep praying, and and they're gonna find the right course of treatment to help her.
Yeah. Is she nervous?
Yeah, a little bit, but she's gonna be fine.
In October 2015, Tanya Singleton passed away in a bed that was set up in her living room.
I ain't even trying to think about how long it is. I'm just taking it minute by minute, you know?
No, I just want you to be okay. I just want you to have a clear head and not to do anything stupid. I just want you to know that I'm here for you, and I'm always going to be here for you no matter what anybody else is doing. So I've always been here for you, and I'll always be here. I'll always come to visit you, and I'm always going to talk to you. So I just don't want you to think that you're in this alone. Because I'm always going to be here no matter what and no matter how long.
I think after the Odin Lloyd conviction, he had a little bit of a downward spiral. He had told me that he got that tattoo, the lifetime tattoo on his neck afterwards, and he had just resorted to surviving in prison and just saying, you know, fuck all this, I'm here for life. And then I think Shayanna and Aviel reinvigorated him, and he decided he was gonna fight.
That ability isn't ready.
After 2 years of serving at the Shirley Maximum Security Prison, Aaron Hernandez is brought back into the courtroom under the charges of 2 homicides in Boston.
Initially, he did want me for the Odin Lloyd appeal. After a few minutes of sitting with him and finding out that this Boston case was right around the corner, I said to him, listen, more than happy to look at your appeal, but the problem is if you lose this case, you might as well just pack it up and go home because that appeal means nothing. It finally hit him. This is for all the marbles. The Boston case was now everything.
First week of his double murder trial, only his fiance showed up to support him. Mom isn't here, his brother isn't here, none of his friends are here, none of his old coaches are here.
He told me that they came for the first trial and he felt that once he got convicted, that everybody just disappeared because hope was gone.
There were low stakes in the second trial. He's already convicted of life. People thought he was going to get convicted again. There certainly remained a fascination with Aaron Hernandez in Boston, but nationally, once you lose the stakes of he could walk out free, there's going to be less news interest in it.
Closer. Not ready yet.
It has been 5 years since Zafira Furtado and Daniel Diabrera were gunned down in cold blood.
Not enough energy.
Their lives matter in this room as well.
Aaron's famous. Aaron's catching touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Who are these other guys? We don't even know who they are. Nobody knows their names. They're not from America.
Not enough energy.
Ma'am, I'm going to show you a photograph, and I'd ask you to look at the photograph and tell us if you recognize the person in that photograph.
Senhora, está mostrando foto. Flano, se você reconhece que alguém que está na foto. Of course, it's my brother.
Not enough energy.
I met those families. The mothers, the brothers, the cousins, tight-knit immigrant families that come to this country seeking a better life. And then to have one of their own murdered in a senseless act, just a sad, terrible tragedy. The story is not just the Aaron Hernandez story. There's a lot of lives affected by this guy.
Their whole family was there. When I say their whole family, they took up 2-3 rows of people there every day. How can I convince the jury to care about Aaron when his own family doesn't? The jury selection was extremely hard. After months and months of working and build-up, we were finally getting ready to start. And just as we walked in, some woman just blurted out, "Oh my God, he's gorgeous." So right then and there, I said, you know, I think we're gonna need more women on the jury.
The first time I thought Aaron Hernandez could gain a not guilty verdict was when Jose Baez took the case. Jose Baez is a tremendous lawyer.
Now Aaron Hernandez was being represented by someone who arguably could be called a celebrity attorney, Jose Baez, who had very famously represented Casey Anthony, a woman who was accused of murdering her daughter. To the shock of a lot of people across the country, she was acquitted of that. So the question became, could Jose Baez do the same thing for Aaron Hernandez?
Our biggest problem going into it was, how do you convince 12 people that the convicted murderer sitting over there didn't do these two?
Sometimes you want something so bad that you're willing to make a deal with the devil. That is exactly what the Commonwealth did in this case when it made a deal with the killer of Safiro Furtado and Daniel de Abreu, who is Alexander Bradley.
Alexander Bradley was no angel. He's a guy who had trouble with drugs, with guns. He had a past.
That guy is probably the toughest person I've ever seen. And I knew he was going to be a difficult witness to cross-examine.
Mr. Hernandez was upset. He turned in a manner in which he was going to make a confrontation out of the issue.
So upset that he's gonna still wait another hour to kill some people over a spilled drink. Right?
Yes.
What transpired down in the Cure Lounge is the foundation of this case. Well, the truth was with this man, and he wasn't that hard to find. There was a photograph of him that they kept from you.
Did you see Mr. Hernandez again that night?
Yes, I did, sir.
What did you say?
Thanks earlier for the picture.
What did he say?
No problem. Have a good night.
Did he seem angry?
Not at all, sir.
Did he seem upset?
No, sir.
Furious?
No, sir.
Enraged?
No, sir.
Not as Alexander Bradley told you. Not when he told you, I had to grab him and take him out of the bar. Because he was gonna kill him. This is Aaron's angry face, and Bradley's well, yeah, he was mad. That's absurd. It flies in the face of reality. It's an absolute lie.
The cross-examination of Alexander Bradley was really a sight to see. You had a real battle going on.
And you're threatening to ruin Aaron's life.
I don't believe I threatened to ruin his life. I may have.
I knew I had an uphill battle because he had been powerful. Let's not lose sight of the fact he wants this to be all about Alexander Bradley and that he was the real killer.
You now know without any doubt that the murder car was a silver 4Runner with Rhode Island plates. Where's that car found? Is that murder car found at Alexander Bradley's cousin's house? Oh no, that murder car is found stuffed away in the garage of the house of a relative who he trusts more than anybody. The murder weapon is linked to Aaron Hernandez. The murder car is linked to Aaron Hernandez. There is no link to any of these people to Alexander Bradley.
I want to direct your attention, Mr. Nelson, to late March of 2013. What tattoos do you recall providing for Mr. Hernandez that day?
2 front views of a semi-automatic handgun and a spent shell casing with a little smoke coming out of it. And a cylinder from a revolver with 5 out of the 6 bullets remaining. On his arm, he wanted God forgives backwards.
What is he asking God to forgive? Right above and below. The shooting of Alexander Bradley above, the murders of July 2012 below. That is a confession. But this is not a church, this is a courtroom. What matters in this room is the truth.
They don't want you to base your decision on evidence. They want you to base it on prejudice. Look at how he's a bad guy. Look at his tattoos. The lies carry you all the way to Florida. Alexander Bradley is telling you he was shot inside of a car. And these guys tell you they hear one shot. It's loud. It's not muffled. He didn't get shot inside of a car.
And Aaron was telling us that there was a drug deal going on, and it went bad.
The blood doesn't lie.
And he was pissed at Aaron for vouching for these guys.
Mr. Bradley does have a dog in this fight. It's the deal of a lifetime. He's either there or sitting right there. And that's a big incentive. And this is the time you jump off the Bradley bandwagon. Can you read that final part?
After I tell the court the truth about me not recalling anything about who shot me.
That text where Alexander Bradley suggests he doesn't quite recall who shot him in the face was gold for Jose Baez. The prosecution tried to explain it away, but it was just that little bit that helped seed the doubt that maybe Bradley's not telling the truth here. Like the first trial, there's a lack of motive. Never made much sense. Why would a guy get so enraged at a drink getting spilled on him that he would go out and shoot up a car? That's a big leap, even when you're putting on trial a convicted felon.
I hated that motive. I still hate that motive. And it's only when you truly understand who Aaron Hernandez was that that motive will ever make sense.
I got involved in the Hernandez case pretty early on. One of the principal problems with the case is that they had a terribly weak motive. And so to try to create a reason, the government wanted to use the argument that Aaron was a closeted gay man who lived in an extraordinarily homophobic world of sports, and that conflict made him strike out in anger against people.
We became aware of a pen pal or a phone pal that Mr. Hernandez had, where he made statements about being angry all the time, and he tied his anger to certain things that were going on internally.
Farewell. We had been advised that the prosecution intended to call someone who would testify about Aaron's sexuality. It caused the difficult situation that Jose dealt with, which was to sit down and talk to Shay.
I don't know where this came from. It's embarrassing in a sense. It's hurtful, regardless if it was true or not. It's not something that I believe, and it's just not him.
So we were hoping to get the judge to give us some type of compromise where we wouldn't necessarily have to turn this into a salacious trial, but at least we would have some context, not about his sexuality, but more of his own statement that he's angry all the time because of things that have happened to him.
As a gay man myself, the next day I went to the courtroom and I argued against this really discredited approach. They knew they were wrong, they tried it, and ultimately they backed down.
But probably appropriately so, the court ruled, I can't do that. You know, you would either have to put in everything or nothing.
We did have some conversations in the holding cell. One that sticks in my mind the most, and I felt really sad for the guy. Aaron asked me if I felt or believed that someone was born gay. I said, I do believe that.
Growing up in our household, my father was extremely narrow-minded, especially when it came to sexuality. He had his definition of a man, which can be very intimidating for a child, you know, when my brother has all these questions going on about his sexuality.
Can I read a passage from the book?
Sure.
It stood out because it describes an incident with a teenage boy who was at your babysitter's house, and you guys were younger. And this is a game of hide and seek. So you go off and you hide, and for 5, 10, 15 minutes, I remained in this dark closet where you were hiding, annoyed. I didn't understand why no one came looking for me. I found out much later, when Aaron was in prison, that the older boy who had been in this household had actually forced Aaron into the tent. Do you think Aaron was sexually abused?
I know he was.
Aaron had a belief that his abuse as a child impacted his sexuality. That was one of the things that he held on to as to why he's, in his mind, has this aberrant behavior.
All rise.
friend.
What say you, Madam Foreperson? Charging murder in the first degree. Victim Daniel D. Abreu. You find the defendant not guilty, guilty of murder in the first degree, or guilty of murder in the second degree?
Not guilty.
Charging murder in the first degree. Victim Zafiro Furtado. You find the defendant not guilty, guilty of murder in the first degree, or guilty of murder in the second degree?
Not guilty.
I don't know whether he was reacting just from the pressure of it all ending, or that somebody finally believed him. He'd gone a lot of years without any victories. He'd gone a lot of years without anybody cheering him or believing him.
Later on that day, Aaron called me and we rejoiced together, and he was so excited, so happy, so looking forward to his future. And he was talking about things he wants to do, talking about getting out one day, talking about his appeal. And he was ready. He was ready to go.
This rumor, this Aaron Hernandez rumor, it is big.
In the context of the trials, we never described Aaron Hernandez's sexuality. They were just rumors at that point, and you know, you don't out somebody for the sake of outing them. It just because it's salacious and interesting is not enough to do something like that to somebody. But what ended up happening was that another reporter did out him and also tried to connect it to Odin Lloyd.
Michelle knows the real motive for the murder of Odin Lloyd. And let's just say that Odin Lloyd caught Aaron Hernandez in a compromising position.
Let's just say that Aaron Hernandez was a former tight end before he was kicked off the Patriots.
Tight end off the field as well?
Yes.
Yes. And then he became a wide receiver.
My sources, what I've been told is that there's absolutely no evidence that that's why Odin Lloyd died. But we also wanted to show that the way that this had come out was problematic, that you know, a man's sexuality being discussed on the radio in pretty crude terms was insensitive. No matter who the person was and what they might have done, this is something that, you know, is just a big no-no in media.
At the time, I was living at my father's house. I woke up in the morning to screaming, and it was my father screaming. And he opened the door and said, Aaron just hung himself.
And some news just breaking as we come on the air. Former NFL star Aaron Hernandez found dead in his prison cell overnight. Apparently, he killed himself.
Medical personnel attempted to perform life-saving techniques. They transported Hernandez to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead just after 4 a.m. this morning.
I was as shocked as anyone. And because I had just spoken to him hours earlier, and he was so happy and so ecstatic.
He was an eternal optimist. It's very hard for me to accept the fact that he may have committed suicide. We are keeping an open mind.
So you don't think that sounds like Aaron at all?
Not the Aaron that I know.
Hernandez's death comes the same day the Patriots head to the White House.
A spokesperson for the Patriots said they would not be commenting today on Hernandez's death.
So he spoke to Cheyenne Jenkins, his fiance, that evening before he went into his cell. There was your traditional lights out. She didn't notice anything different in his tone.
The protocol at the prison requires correction officers to make hourly rounds at the facility. And while there is no video inside the cell itself, in the general area of the block, detectives will be able to see what was going on in the hours leading up to discovering Hernandez.
I know Aaron was into the K2.
Well,
it's like a synthetic marijuana.
We shall meet.
Sources said Hernandez was smoking synthetic marijuana the night before he committed suicide.
These are the photos of the Bible investigators found in Aaron Hernandez's cell.
Officials say he was found with the Bible verse John 3:16, a reference to eternal life through Jesus, written across his forehead.
sins guide you.
And some brothers were even saying like, "Yeah, I feel sorry for the dude."
Well met.
And that's when I started looking at it like, yo, at the end of the day, he's human too. We all make mistakes. Will I always have resentment for the man? Hell yes. Hell yes.
My heart goes out to his family, his 4-year-old daughter, his mom, his loved ones. But it especially goes out to the Odin Lloyd family because they don't get to see him anymore. I'm just going to make it very, very clear. Aaron Hernandez gets no sympathy from me.
I think he just had his mind set up. I think when we saw him in the courthouse, when he was looking at his daughter that way, it was like the saddest thing I've seen in a long time. And I know a lot of people don't like him. I know a lot of people think he's a murderer and everything else, but that breaks your heart no matter what. He knew that that was the last time he'd be seeing her. Because why else? I mean, he didn't show any emotion at all when they said you're going away forever. But when he gets off, either that or I was thinking, Jesus, I should have hired bias for the first trial. But that's the only two things I could think of that were going through his head.
You started to wonder, why would he have taken his own life? One thing we learned that there were 3 letters that he left behind. A letter left to his fiancée, one to his daughter, and one to his lawyer.
The suicide note to Shayana says, "You're rich," and it's underlined.
Some thorny legal questions remain.
Another inmate told investigators Hernandez mentioned that if you die in prison and you have an open case, your case gets thrown out.
Previously, the most famous inmate at Shirley Max was a Catholic priest who had been convicted of sexually assaulting children. And he was murdered before his appeal went through. And because of abatement, he was technically found not guilty. So inmates in that prison knew about abatement.
There is a really archaic law in the state of Massachusetts called the abatement, that if in fact you die while a murder case is under appeal, which was the case here, that if you die, that means you can't participate in the appeal, and therefore the conviction would be erased from the record.
In light of this legal principle, do the Patriots owe him any money?
You realize if I'm in jail for the rest of my life and my wife and daughter gotta see me through this glass, and if somebody whispered in my ear that, dude, if you bite the bullet on this one and take your life, your kids will be straight, your wife will be straight for the rest of their lives, it's no choice. It's the type of shit a father would do. So if you ask me if a father would kill himself for his fucking daughter and wife to be set for life, fuck yes, I would.
Greetings.
Abatement remains the law in this Commonwealth, and this court is compelled to follow binding precedent. In the interest of justice, the court has no choice but to abate the proceedings ab initio by vacating Hernandez's convictions and dismissing the charges against him and his appeal.
In our book, he's guilty, and he's gonna always be guilty.
The Patriots are not just gonna cut a check. They will fight that thing in court till the last drop. And it will cost more money in legal fees to get that than they could ever get. Did he think that far ahead on that? I don't know.
For Aaron to do that, he was hurting. He was hurting tremendously to an extreme that no one knew.
Since the news broke on Wednesday morning, rumors have been swirling about the death of Aaron Hernandez. The latest reports suggest he may have had a jailhouse lover.
Kyle Kennedy thinks he was probably the last fellow inmate to see Aaron Hernandez alive.
And when the news broke that, oh my gosh, the gay lover, I mean, the first reaction my dad had was, I remember he looked at me and he said, "What? Aaron's not gay? Are you kidding me? This is bullshit. This is fake." Like, he got offended by them even doing that.
And I think the words I used was, Mr. Hernandez was rolling over in his grave right now.
Little did he know that I was a part of it. So It was very hard, man. It took me months. Aaron had killed himself, and it wasn't something that I could just come clean on. Months later, I broke the news.
But once he told me that, it was going to be an extended conversation, and we talked it out and said, hey, man, I'm glad you told me, and gee whiz, let's start getting you feeling better about yourself. And yes, it didn't matter to me whether he was with a man or a woman. So that didn't matter to me. I wanted him to have someone.
I stand here today proud to say that being bisexual has no difference in being an athlete or just being yourself. He wasn't ashamed of who he was. Aaron was proud of his sexuality. It was just, he couldn't say anything. At the time, there was no one in the NFL that ever broke this news.
I saw a lot of the news reports about Aaron, the rumors, the other guy in prison, and the extremes he went through to stay closeted. You know, I had 6 shoulder surgeries. I've got 2 torn knees. I've had countless concussions. My back is messed up to this day. I'm missing a groin, and you know, but I didn't really think twice about the injuries and what it was doing in the long run, because I didn't plan on living in the long term. My plan was play football as long as possible, as long as I have that cover. And then I planned on killing myself because I thought no one would ever accept me. So I started talking with psychologists that the NFL has used before. Months went by. I was at the end of my rope, and I think her first thing she said after I told her was, you know, that I wasn't the first player to tell her that I was gay, and then I wasn't the second player either. She had, you know, told me that, you know, if you're just going to kill yourself anyways, you might as well sit down and talk with these people that you're afraid will disown you. I get to my parents' house, and you know, I told my mom that, you know, there was something that's been bothering me for a really long time that, you know, I need to talk to you about. So we're just 3 of us sitting in the living room, and I finally get the words out of my mouth and tell them I'm gay, and my mom just stands up and gives me a hug, and she thought I was going to tell him that I was terminally ill. So in a sense, she was relieved that nothing was wrong with me. So when I came out publicly years later, and Mr. Kraft, he called me personally on my cell phone. I picked up, and it was him. Told me he was proud of me, and, you know, proud that I was finally being honest and putting myself out there to help other players that made me in a position like, you know, I was. I think the whole story about Aaron is really unfortunate, because, you know, you don't know what drove him to do these things. You know, if he was able to be himself and, you know, have some of these negative things not in his life, you know, what kind of difference would that have made?
Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy.
I didn't know why he did what he did, and I didn't know any of the circumstances surrounding it, but I knew at that moment in time that we've got to get that brain.
Out of range.
Terry and DJ came back into the fold because we needed their consent for the donation of his brain. And to their credit, they came together for him.
The family of Aaron Hernandez has decided to donate Aaron's brain to the study so that we could possibly shed light on this case.
It's the latest in a string of NFL player suicides. The family is having his brain studied. They want to know if the suicide was associated to a history of concussion-related injuries.
Dr. McKee's research at Boston University was instrumental.
I'm out of range.
What I really admire is that she didn't ever plan to be involved with this. She was an Alzheimer's expert, and the brains just showed up in her lab. She studied more brains of former contact athletes than anyone in the world. So she's doing tremendous work.
You know, my job, I look at the brains after death, but the whole reason I do it is so we can understand this disease and learn how to diagnose it during life. We know this is a problem, and we just want to find solutions. We want to bring hope and care to the people that are suffering this disorder.
I
kind of thought maybe it was just a publicity stunt of some sort, but I could not have been more wrong when I saw the results of his CTE.
The most significant, for an individual who was only 27 at the time that he died, he had very advanced disease. And not only was it advanced microscopically, especially in the frontal lobes, which are very important for decision-making, judgment, and cognition. This would be the first case we've ever seen of that kind of damage in such a young individual.
I'm out of range. The ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy.
I didn't know too much about CTE, but I started to look at the signs and symptoms or the effects of CTE. Impulsiveness, rash decisions, sometimes propensity to be violent. I mean, it was Aaron Hernandez, and if you look at everything that this young man had going on, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, from what had happened to him as a child and for what he'd been dealing with in his own life, and then on top of it, you add the CTE, it all made sense that this tragedy, had probably begun, or the seeds of this tragedy had started many, many years earlier.
I can say that this is substantial damage that undoubtedly took years to develop. This is not something that's developed acutely or just in the last several years. I imagine these changes have been evolving over maybe even as long as a decade.
I don't have enough energy.
I think CTE could have, in fact, been a contributing factor to what happened, because I know Aaron's had concussions. I know I've probably given him personally 1 or 2 myself. He's told me about one I gave to him after the game, celebrating, just smacking his head.
I knew Aaron Hernandez from Bristol, Connecticut, an All-American. And to think that this is a game that we encourage young people to play, and the end result was that. I'm conflicted. I really am.
I wasn't really shocked because Junior Seau, the same thing had happened with him. Having CTE be the kind of thing that both of them shared is eye-opening to athletes and to everybody, in the football world.
I don't know if they're trying to pass the cup of sympathy and empathy around, but when it comes to him, I have none.
My thoughts to people who think that CTE was somehow involved, I think that's an absolute cop-out. There are thousands of former NFL players out there that might have dealt with concussions. I've dealt with them. So to use that as a cop-out, no, come on. We're smarter than that, people.
I don't think you can blame it all on football, because lots of people play football. We've never seen an NFL guy in the middle of his success go out and start murdering people. So I don't think you can put it all on football, but would Aaron Hernandez be in this situation if he was a concert pianist? Probably not.
If you look at the symptoms of concussion, ringing in the ears, imbalance, many others, I'd experience that on a weekly basis. Then I really began to question my role in the NFL. Ultimately, I decided that it was brain health first. I quit after 1 year.
The NFL is reeling as a promising young rookie announces his retirement, citing concerns over head trauma.
An uncommon move by Chris Borland.
This has got to worry the NFL.
Our game has never been more exciting. It's never been more competitive. And I don't think it's ever been safer.
In my minimal interaction with folks high in the NFL, I think there's a certain degree of hubris. They own a day of the week. Football's a religion. And no matter whether or not they're throwing a flag or claiming concussions are down or taking players into the blue tent, the reason football is the most popular sport is because it's violent. So they're not in the health business, they're in the violence business. Players joke that Dracula runs the blood bank.
I'm very pleased with what we're doing in the area of equipment, what we're doing with medical attention, and my sons and grandsons played, I played, and I'd recommend to every mother out there who wants her young man to grow up special that they play too.
It's all about the business of football, whether it's on the collegiate level or whether it's on the professional level, and very little to do with what ultimately become an expended asset of the business, which are these players in the end. I believe that if someone had made football less important and Aaron's life and his behavior more important,
That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready.
the outcomes may have been different.
I don't have enough.
I was not prepared for this. A murder conviction.
Ready yet.
Ursula Ward choking back tears.
A murder conviction will not bring my Odin back, but it will offer me some peace.
Begging lawmakers to change a centuries-old law that cleared her son's killer's name.
Why are you fighting as hard as you are?
Because I'm fighting for the other Odins out there that doesn't have a voice. And I wanted to make sure that my voice heard for them.
A law that has been on the books in Massachusetts for decades. But this morning, the state Supreme Judicial Court said that rule was outdated and did not fit with contemporary life.
Aaron Hernandez is a convicted murderer once again.
Out of range.
The family of Odin Lloyd is extremely pleased that the Supreme Judicial Court of Massachusetts has determined to reinstate the conviction against Aaron Hernandez.
It's too far away.
I think we all want to be apologetic. Anyone that was close to Aaron, we want to say, oh, this is why, this is why. But at the end of the day, he made these decisions.
That ability isn't ready.
We can't sit here and say, this is why he made these decisions, or this is why. We can paint a picture of the things he was going through, but he made these decisions. The decisions lie with him, the consequence lies with him.
And you talked about, after the conviction, you talked about forgiveness. Do you still feel forgiveness?
I do. And I pray to God that his soul is at peace. I pray to God that he find comfort. And God will forgive him of whatever happened.
ABL, you going tonight?
Say bye-bye to Daddy.
It's too far away.
Never bye-bye. See you later. There's no bye-bye. Just see you later.
I don't have enough.
She doesn't know that yet. Say bye-bye.
No, never bye-bye. Daddy's never going bye-bye.
Ability isn't ready.
She's blowing her nose. Talk to you later.
All right, I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Have enough energy.
I love you guys.
Need to get closer.
The person you called has hung up.
I'm out of range.
We don't want to hurt you.
Now! Suicide! The to the overtime kill! Come on!
I need to get closer. I can't do that yet. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I don't have enough energy. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I'm out of range. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. too far away. Not ready yet. I don't have enough energy. I can't do that yet. Not enough energy. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. I'm out of range. Not enough energy. Not ready yet. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. It's too far away. I don't have a target. I need to get closer. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. Not enough energy. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. It's too far away. I don't have enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I need to get closer. Not ready yet. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet. I don't have enough energy. out of range. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. Not enough energy. It's too far away. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. I need to get closer. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I need a target.
What brings you here? I've been expecting you. We shall meet again.
Can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy. Not ready yet. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet.
What brings you here? Hail. Go in peace. Peace, friend. I've been expecting you. May the eternal sun shine upon thee.
You wish to speak? Very well.
Ah, I've been expecting you. Walk with the earth.
Right? Well,
So we both know there's Nazis living in America.
You know what the best revenge is? Revenge.
Let's do a little dance, make a little love, and get down tonight.
Showtime.
It's about justice for 11 million people.
Gentlemen. Ouch, 28. Oh, I'm bear form, baby. Demo roar. Kick her ass. Just kill the healer. Kill the healer. Kill the healer. Kill the healer. Can I get a bash? Oh, the crits! The RNG, and we didn't even waste the bash. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Northwatch Hold at level 18. You're welcome. You're welcome. Got a full bar of mana. Run, Fairmount. Run. Oh, geez, that would have been a major scuff, huh? Easy, baby. They said it couldn't be done. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome, welcome to the Grace for Days show. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Dude, my hands fell asleep. Legit, my hands are asleep. Okay, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. We got an escort and we got mad respawns.
Go forth to victory.
3 and it could be over. How's this gonna work? Oh, do not. What are you doing? Oh, they pulled. They pulled. It's an F. It's an F. It's an F. Okay, think. Go, baby. Go, baby. Go. We'll come back. Respawns? Yes, sir. We out. We out. We out. I'm going down. Geronimo. I'm coming back, though. I'm coming back. I can't scuff it like this. I've come too far. I've come too far. Oh, are we in the sweet spot? Did we do it? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Come on, sweetie. Okay, sorry, guys. That was super cringe, but I was in the moment. Oh. Okay. Okay. There was never a doubt. Big freaking plays. Plays for days, son. We got the plays for days. Well, now that we're out here, let's be a little strategic about how we clear this area. Check this out. I've got it. I know what the clearing sequence is. Let's take down a couple of these patrols. We're gonna start up top, then we'll grab 1 or 2 down below, and then we'll start the escort. I think that's the sweet spot. Holy smokes, guys. My hands are asleep right now. I don't even know how that's possible. Plays for days. Plays for mother-sucking days, son. Are you not entertained? Yo. I've done my mission for the day, baby. Always pushing the envelope, making plays for days, son. Who else is doing North Watch hold at 18? Get at me. Get at me, baby. It's so weird, man. The 15s have more health according to like this health bar than the 16s. I've seen that on multiple mobs. I want to say it's like a UI bug, and that's not the case, but that tower was hella fun to watch. David Fields, the feedback. I'm so glad, bro. I mean, that's why I did it. That's why we did it. Your Rocky Mountain spring water, son. We're solid, baby. We're solid. I mean, ice in my veins, son. Cold-blooded. Cold motherfucking blooded. Oh, everybody wanted to see me die. I know you did. Everybody wanted to see Graves die. Not today, son. Not today. All right, let's work on these mobs. Let's get these two going. Start the escort. I think it's a sweet spot. Come on down. Yes, sir. You can let Metal Rod know of your success. Oh, I hope somebody already clipped it, and I'll be sending it his way as soon as this stream is over.
Goodbye.
100%. Hey man, we keep it spicy in the hardcore community, baby. Who's at the top right now? Who's got bragging rights right now? Right now, it's your boy Grace for Days. Just showed up on the scene. Hottest thing on the block at the moment. For real, normally I just have streams playing as background sounds, but I was glued to this. Hey. That's the kind of feedback I like to hear, man. Well, good. That means what we're doing is working. That was good. I mean, you guys know how sticky this place can be. That was exciting. I ain't gonna lie, it's the most exciting thing I've done on stream today. Be lying if I said it wasn't. Tower 3 keeps Meltdown up at night. Hey, what's up, Larry? I didn't even realize that was you. Good to see you back. Familiar faces. Oh, and now we get the healing potion. Dude, we didn't even use a healing potion this whole time, guys. Druid OP. The best is yet to come, ladies and gentlemen. The best is yet to come. Northwatch hold at level 18. Stranglethorn Veil at level 28. Nah, I'm trolling. STVs. We're going to STV at 32. But as soon as we hit STV, we're going as far as we can before we leave there again. Yeah, STV is my next destination. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Okay. Let's get this escort started, baby. Solo escort. Did I pull somebody? That was weird. Yo, what just happened? I saw something happen. Okay. Never mind. Dude, if you keep playing like this until 60, you're smooth sailing. You sure no skill? Pushing the limit or just buttery smooth, like on point? My sequence was pretty good. I played Northwatch hold pretty well. Solo it at level 18, I'm happy. How many highlights do you want this stream? Laramie, you kidding me? How many highlights do we have so far? Started off hot? Oh man, like the first 2 out of 5 pulls that I hadn't played in like 3 days. My dumbass is pulling like 3 cougars, and I'm at level 12. Three flatland cougars, and then I'm chain pulling a geomancer with a plane strider and trying to kill the plane strider like at the right time so that I get a tactical ding, and I almost scuffed it. Okay, this guy, if I run too far away from him, I'll actually fail the quest. Believe it or not. So, I mean, this quest has a few more facets to it rather than just surviving and staying alive. You actually have to stay in proximity of this guy. I'd even say like a 30-yard range. Oh my gosh! Don't. Gil Theris. Solo Dolo. Yo, now this is why... Oh, no. I don't want more. I don't want more. Okay, solo guy, you're on your own. I got a healer to take care of. Oh, man, and she's going to heal her friend. R.I.P. R.I.P. Not like this, Grays. I might abandon the escort. There goes the heal. Ah, missed it. Let's transition over. Do we have enough mana? Yes, we do. Kill him quick. Kill him quick. Yes, sir. 1 down. I really need your help right now, escorter. Yes, sir. Oh, the escort's dead. Dead. R.I.P. R.I.P. Survive, Gray. Survive. Don't scuff this. Don't pull. Okay, I'll take it. Like I always say, if you're still alive, there's still time. You can always turn your life around. And ladies and gentlemen, we are still alive. Yo, Cargos doesn't believe, man. Cargos doesn't believe it. He I can't. Cargos, he put the house on me, against me. He bet the house against me. Man's going with ebb and flow. Your boy Grace for Days is trying to make a statement. Oh, it's good to see you in here, Cargos. Okay, well now we gotta wait on the respawn. Let's do a little bit of farm action. Woo! Yo, not F yet. Not F yet, guys. I mean, I'm starting to realize, I think that this escort quest is gonna end up being harder than the Theramore Towers quest. At least on bear form. That was rough, man. I like to think I played it all right, but oh man, this is gonna be like a 30-minute respawn time, right? Wish I could just come back. Once I leave here, though, I don't want to come back. I'll do one more. I'll grind here for a moment, because you gotta grind anyways.
Peace, friend.
I'll grind here for a moment and give it one more attempt. Because I mean, we've already come this far. Next time, next time I'll clear the bottom area a little bit better. Maybe pick off the patrollers, and that'll make it easier. That'll make the escort a little bit easier. Holy cow.
Winds be at your back.
I'm stressing myself out, man. Keeping myself awake. I'll tell you that much. We got highlights for days, son. Only at Grace for Days TV. Oh, let's go for a threesome. Why not? Okay, this gets a little spicy. Let's do a preemptive demo roar. We do have a potion. I'm really not that worried. As long as we get this healer down ASAP. We got a bash in stock, ready to queue up. I don't know if that was the one, but I think we can finish her off. Oh, the renew is real. Good night. Or not. Come on now. No. Come on now. Don't heal. All right, we're good. Another demo roar. We got a war stomp. Guys, this is why I can't play Night Elf Druid right here. I mean, I got two guys on me. I'm controlling the situation. We're halfway through at 50%. Let's get a little war stomp, regrowth, rejuve. Can't do that on a Night Elf, baby. Can't do that on a Night Elf. That's all day. That's automatic. This man is savage, I'm telling you. Evan may have more experience with Druid, but I doubt he does with Mulgore Barons. So what's he going to play? Is he going to go Horde or Alliance? I don't even know. Which one's stronger? I couldn't say. Yes! Hang on, what are the wolf? Leather, 2 agi, 1 spirit. I'll take it. We're bis, baby. We're all greens, ladies and gentlemen. We just graduated to the green club. Replaced the level, the starting zone bracers. Let's do a quick gear check. We got the bounty hunter's ring at 16, mind you. We got the stolen silver at 16. I mean, doesn't really mean anything extra. Got the Kodo hunter's leggings. The ill sash. The 3-2 stam gloves. The shoulders from the treasure chest. The ill 4 intellect random green drop. The pimpin' chest. And now, the feral bindings of the wolf. Tell you what, my favorite piece, and of course the cauldron stir. Yo, I'm ready to do Wailing Caverns, guys. Come on, I need some help. We need some hardcore players over on Bloodsail, on Horde, baby. Let's see. My favorite item before I got the shoulders was my chest. Pimpin', man. Big pimpin'. It's got a nice little look to it. A nice aesthetic in the barren yellow wasteland that is the Barrens. Yo, let's do RFC, baby. Yeah, I think we're going to take a break after this. I'm going to go run to the store and get a drink because I don't have class till like 2 a.m. So I'm going to go get an energy drink just to stay up, stay alert. It'll be like 5 minutes though. Gas station's literally across the street. I'm down to do RFC. Plus, I'll still be level 18, so I can do it. And you know what RFC is gonna be. I'm gonna be acting a fool in RFC, baby. I'll try not to piss people off. That's the only thing. Like I can't make a good show at others' expense, right? You can really play with someone's emotions in the hardcore challenge. Like, I'd be pissed if somebody scuffed my run. Pissed. So, I gotta be respectful. I gotta respect the hardcore. But at the same time, ooh, you trying to do a little dungeon cargoes. Come through, baby. I know, what are you, like 13, 14? My bad, man. I didn't mean to make it so personal. But if you come through, I'll main tank the first 2 mobs. I'll let you off tank, and then I'll just start throwing heals. Just start throwing heals. It's going to be high-speed gameplay. If I go in at 18, as a level 18 druid, we go into RFC. We're pulling 5, 6-man mobs. 14 and a half at the moment? Ooh. Are you not streaming? Oh, no, you're just chilling. I got you. 14 and a half. That's what's up. Can we get a stream on RFC? That would be too legit to quit. Yeah, Dave, I got you. I got you, man. We're going RFC next. I'm waiting on this escort to respawn. So, ETA on RFC, 45 minutes. Yeah? Hey, Cargos, are you getting on later, though? I could time that around, you know, the rest of the stream if you're going to come back. Or do you even know? I wonder if we're going to have enough people on. Let's see what we're working with right now. I could probably get thick meta in here. I don't know what level he is. RIP went down on a 29 Warlock today. The most savage death I've seen to date. Falling off the 1,000 Needles elevator. There he is. Okay. Let's do some groundwork. Hang on. Let me see if I can pick off a patrol or 2 down here before I start this. I don't think it's going to work. I can get these 2 guys, though. I'll grab this healer while I'm at it, too. Bet, Cargos. Hell yeah, son. On that Master Chief grind. You're a wild man. You've been putting in the work, bro. Lately. Putting in the hours. Yeah, let's do some RFC, man. In like 45 minutes. Is it time for me to retire this evening? It was great to watch. Hey, Laramie. Thanks, bro. It's always a good time having you in here. Always appreciated. Alright, let's do this. Yo! Getting this patrol out of the way is nice. That patrol screwed us last time. Is there any more patrols we can pick real quick? I don't think so. Alright, we'll be fine. I need to go start the escort. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Cargos is in, baby. We're doing some late night RFC with Cargos, baby. Feels right. Good thing I'm still in the level range. Dang. All right, here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. On top of the respawns, let's get this escort going. Let me see if I can start it right now. Let's get the heck out of here, man. Let's go, let's go. Oh, I can't do it in combat. Okay. RIP. Oh, what do we get? Buckled boot. 2 int, 4 stand, 1 spirit? Yeah, buddy. The druid dream. The druid stats. Here we go. Let's get this thing started. Come on now. Oh, my quest log is full. Tripping. Free from the hold. Abandoned. Ooh, you hate to see the respawns right on top of you. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get out of here, man. Oh, no. The crits. Crits for days, baby. All right, let's go. We're on a tight schedule. Giltheris. Okay, like I said, I've failed this quest before because I got out of range of him. So it's kind of tough. Like, I can't just run ahead and go clear all these mobs. I think I have to stay within like 30 yards. Or else I'll just auto-fail it. All right, looking good. I can't buff him. Can I heal him? No, sir. No, sir. Here it is. Solo Dolo, level 18 Northwatch Hold Escort Quest. It's getting real, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now, stay in range. Let's do a little 1-2 on the NPCs, please. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Okay, let me keep his health up right there. Oh, we are feeling good. I feel good. We're on a hot streak tonight, baby. New PR tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the furthest druid from Graves for Days in the hardcore challenge to date. All right, let's just kill this guy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I never showed you guys David Goggins. I didn't really find the time. Come on now. Didn't really find the right time a second ago. I'll play his clip whenever I go to the gas station after this escort, and then we'll talk about it when I get back. Oh, man. Guys, can you, like, see my excitement, man? This is so much more entertaining. For me, like, gameplay. Does he really not pull that? Okay. This is more exciting gameplay for me, keeping it spicy, man. Like, this is the only way I would want to play hardcore. I ain't leveling no greens, completing green quests. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's all about the plays. The plays for days, baby. That's why they call me Grace for Days. David Goggins is great. I loved it. I just found out about him. Like, the healing potions. The healing potions. All right. Okay. Okay. Sorry. A little too anxious. I need to keep homeboy alive. Grace for Days making it look easy at level 18, son. Let's go. I want to see it. I want to see it. Who else is doing Northwatch Hold at level 18? Am I wrong for this? Like, am I bragging about something that doesn't matter? Gonna go do hidden enemies prereqs? Yeah, I'm not worried about the hidden enemies quest. It's just a little bit bonus XP and okay, it's about to get a little spicy in here. About to get a little spicy in here. Oh, and that what are you doing, my mans? Don't run too far. Let's get this under control. Yeah, I just found out about David Goggins. He's got me cracking up, man. Some of his videos are gold. I just appreciate the intensity. I appreciate the intensity from a unique individual, right? He's bringing something to this earth that nobody else can bring, and it's cool to watch. Yeah, David Goggins is live. Okay, yeah. Let's go, son. Oh, we got the escort. We got Giltharis Fireball backing us up. I can't be beat. I can't be beat. Northwatch Hold at level 18. I kind of like prove something to myself today. That's what I'm just as excited about, you know? Please tell me it wasn't failed. Yes. Like I honestly didn't know if this was possible at level 18. You know, maybe on Druid it's a little bit easier than other classes, or I know it is. Maybe not maybe. It 100% is. I don't know. Still had to do it. How do you shift in and out of bear form so quickly? Artcast. So it's whenever you, these are called like special action buttons, and you can keybind them, right? So I've got them keybound to like this is shift 1 for me. So check this out, like my key bindings, you go to multi-action bar and you do, oh, I think he summoned some guys right here. It's special action button. That's what it's called. There it is, special action button. Look, shift 1, special action button 1, shift 1. Okay, what's next? That last 3 from North, I need it. Okay, he needs it. Let's give him a moment, guys.
Not ready yet. My ability isn't ready yet. I don't have enough
Wake up.
energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy.
So, I almost want to, I feel like my most recent memory of doing this escort, I actually ran out of range, like at Ratchet, I took off right before we got credit for it. I just went on a dead sprint, got out of range of him, failed it, completed right afterwards. It's so stupid. Painful is what it was. This guy slows down once we get out of Northwatch hold, come on. Yeah, or it's, you gotta have shape-shifting keybound, man. You're gonna play Druid. This is one of those quests, guys. If you're unfamiliar, I swear, enemies spawn, right? He spawns some enemies in 1 or 2 spots. There's some secret quests out there that I don't know about. Like, I did my waterform quest the other day, and halfway through the quest chain, I had to go fill up some water at the top of this mountain. And as soon as I filled up the water, like 3 level 13 elementals spawned on top of me. And I was level 12 or 14, so I was like, geez, you know, you're gonna end up dying to something stupid like this that you didn't even realize was a thing. Yeah, these guys are a cakewalk at level 18 though. Really trivializes this escort at this level.
It's too far away.
Like I said, the only way I'm gonna scuff this is if I run out of range, but shouldn't have that problem. Just in time to vendor when we get back. Those 2 8-slot bags we bought were the right investment. Man,
I can't do that yet.
what a run we've had so far. We've had a solid couple hours, man. This was a solid stream so far. We were getting things done. I did the Razormane Quillbore quest at 16, killing level 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s. Sorry if I'm like, does it bug you guys that I point all this stuff out? Or does it add...
Not enough energy.
I don't know. I feel like it adds to the progression of my character. And his mark in the hardcore challenge. I feel like it'd be boring, man, if you didn't do anything special. That's why I like talking about it. Druid for days, baby. I'm big pimpin'. Big pimpin' in the Southern Barrens moonlight.
I'm out of range. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy.
Yes, sir. We're making plays for days.
Isn't ready yet.
Useful info. That's what's up, Rock.
Yeah,
man, and it kind of lets you know, like, if you're thinking about participating in hardcore, like, what other hardcore players are doing, how they're leveling. I've learned so much in the last 2 weeks of playing this stupid-ass game mode. Be honest, man, this thing... It's not all butterflies and roses, man. This challenge is painful. We're only gonna pull 1? Oh no, we got all 3. Okay.
Don't have enough energy. Not enough.
Hey, but as long as you're alive, you're happy, right?
Don't have enough energy.
Gotta mess that, dude. I'm critting like a mofo on the. It's because they're like 4 levels lower than me, right? Crit chances increased. I don't even know how that works. Thank you, escort. And another one. Let's pull another one for good measure. How about this? Let's get the whole crew in here. Oh no, no, no. Oh, the druid plays for days. Got the hots ticking. We are in our zen zone. Yin and yang. We couldn't feel any better. More at home. More at peace. Ladies and gentlemen, Grace for days playing classic WoW Feral Druid. We're actually balanced right now. What am I saying? These are low-level mobs. It's quality production, no doubt. About to ding 20 on my Druid, John. How are you going to beat me? Hang on. Are you on the Horde side? Or are you a Night Elf, John? Uh-oh. If you're not, I was gonna say, we can't have enough druids, man. I would take 3 druids. I would take 4 druids into Wailing Caverns. 4 druids and a shaman. 4 druids and a shaman. Oh, you're not hardcore? Oh, never mind. Oh. Well, congrats on playing a druid anyways. I think you'll love it. I fell in love with the class, man. Never looked back. Really don't have any interest to play anything other than druid. Guys, we don't even have alchemy. This is what we found in chests along the way. Didn't necessarily have to use them so far. Hey, man. We're going to start, by the end of this stream, I'm going to work on professions. So, like, at level 20, I'm going to get cat form. I'm going to do leather working. I'm going to get water form, which requires me to get herbalism to collect 5 earth root. We'll do some maintenance at the end of this stream. Right now, we're pushing levels, baby. We're getting the morale back. I really want to invest in levels, maybe a little bit more before I invest in like water form or professions, right? Because the further I get, the more seriously I'm going to take it. And the more seriously I take it, the higher chance I have of survivability by, you know, going all out on professions and whatnot. It's my highest level tune. I've yet to get a level 60. John, that's what's up, man. You got a lot to learn then. You've got a lot to learn, my friend.
I need to get closer.
I wish I could go back though, honestly. I'm envious. I'm envious of people that are doing it for their first time.
Ability isn't ready.
I mean, you're experiencing magic, man.
It's too far away.
It may not be as profound as it was in 2004, just because 15 years later, we're used to smartphones, we're used to internet connectivity, and if you're playing WoW for the first time in 2019, it may not be as impactful as it was in the past, but it's still got some magic, man. It's got some magic dust in there. All right, here we go. Giltheris is just trying to suicide bomb, like the chotch that he is. Don't make me fail this quest, Giltheris. What sucks is he didn't even wait for his health to regen. Homeboy's just going in blind. Okay, please. Okay, there we go. Now I can get this treasure chest in no time. Bro, I never played WoW till Classic. Hey, this game's amazing. You know how many people I hear say that? I hear more people than you know say that exact same thing. They've never played before. They played Classic for the first time and they're hooked in love. And it's really cool to hear. Time and time again. I mean,
I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy.
That's what you hear from new players. I don't know.
I don't have enough energy.
The Blast Man, I didn't get into it back in the day, but this game's legit. John, it really is, man. It's a diamond in the rough. Literally a classic.
Not enough energy.
Timeless. Ahead of its time. Yeah, man. This game is the bee's knees, bro. Started playing in 2006. This game blew my mind. Krieger, you want to talk about blowing your mind? I mean, I bring it up all the time. I had a brother 6 years older than me. He introduced WoW to me when I was 9 years old in 3rd grade in 2005. And ever since I played Vanilla WoW, never played anything else. Never picked up the PS2 controller ever again. That was it. And I still haven't played anything else. It's the reason I never played League of Legends. It's the reason I never played Dota. It's the reason I never played... Oh my goodness, don't fail this quest. It's the reason I never played shooters with all my friends. Talk about an impression, man. A 9-year-old kid playing WoW for the first time? Dude, you gotta realize what that does to a kid's brain. I mean, grown men were losing their shit. They were losing their jobs and their lives and their wives whenever this game came out. Imagine a 9-year-old kid system overload, son. Yeah, I blew my mind back in 05 too. Never had a game come close since. Same. I only play sports games and WoW. Yeah. And that's typical, man. Yeah, like you're not even in this genre, but WoW's so good it brought you over here, right? Damn, I'm somewhat similar to that, but I have like 7K games in League of Legends. Yeah. I don't know. I got into Hearthstone. Hearthstone was an alternative to WoW. Hearthstone, Minecraft, Age of Empires 2. I played those whenever I quit WoW. I didn't really play anything outside of those. Hearthstone and Minecraft were big though. Me and my cousin played Minecraft. I mean, you can say what you want. You can say it's a kid game. Growing up, playing Minecraft late at night with your cousin when you're 15, 16, 17 years old, that's badass. Playing survival mode, Minecraft is sweet. Dude, I would play Minecraft on stream nowadays. I enjoy it that much. I don't know if it would be enjoyable content, but I would play it. I never felt the type of happiness, excitement that I did when I first played WoW. Same. No skill. Never felt another feeling. And I still remember it. Let me think. Honestly, it's hard for me to think of it. I remembering that feeling whenever Classic came out. For some reason, I'm having trouble feel it. I normally tie it to 1 or 2 examples, and I remember the magical feeling, man. The first time I saw a chest and seeing that silver gear icon turn into gold, and you start, and just the timing, the loading bar, everything about the game was magical. There was some mystique. The game was mystical. I don't know what it was. The little details, the mini mail icon. You guys know what I'm talking about. You log in and you got mail. You got this baby ass, beautiful, cute mail icon in the corner of your mini map, and you're like, hell yeah. Who sent me some mail? Best feeling in the world. Yeah, I've never gotten feelings like that ever since the first time in vanilla. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got top 2K in Hearthstone in 2014. So many hours in Minecraft as well. I think my highest was like 350 for like a day. Rigger. I didn't care about ranked. I was more of an arena player. There's so much you can do. I'm only level 19 and got fishing up to 120 and herb and skinning to 118. John, that's great to hear. I'm interested in doing fishing on this guy. It's just such an investment, man. If we die, it's over. But I like the attitude. If I'm gonna stick to fishing, it means I'm taking this guy all the way. So the psychology behind it is it's supposed to bolster your investment. Like, you're in it till the end, right? Because you leveled up fishing to 225. He's so stupid. There's so much. Yeah. I played Minecraft a lot too, man. Not gonna lie, my sister's boyfriend was a massive Minecraft YouTuber, and I watched him before she knew him. No way. That's nutty. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do Northwatch hold at level 18. They said it couldn't be done. Add it to the highlight reel, baby. Another one. Another beautiful accomplishment in the books. Hey, it's that boy DK. It's that boy. Hell yeah, Dalton. What's good, baby? Dude, I'm feeling good, man. Trigger, 4 strength, 4 spirit. Yo, no, those are cloth. We'll pass. I'm not worried about it. Buckled boots, though. 3 agi 1 stam. Yeah, I like the 30 additional stam in the 30 intellect. That's big. Buckled boots, yes please. All right, let's get rid of some of this stuff. Dude, we pick up cloth like crazy. We were over there for a while, guys. I mean, I grinded out like a little bit over half a level before we turned this quest in. Holy smokes, what we get from our adventure. Tiger's Eye, silver bars, Dalaran shard, tin ore. Didn't even use the scroll of protection. Save it for a rainy day. Do we hang on to the stamina cloak? Is it really worth it? Maybe for now. I'll hang on to it. We might get into a spicy situation where I feel like I just need to be a tank. I'm gonna keep stocking this linen cloth. I don't really want to mess with it right now. Okay, I like it.
Don't have enough energy.
Big pimpin', baby. Look at that green dress. This Tauren Druid he's coming together, man. Northwatch hold at level 18. I'm feeling it, guys. This is the one, the blessed run.
It's too far away.
It's something to do while watching streams. I watch you and cargoes and just fish.
Have enough energy. Not enough energy.
Yeah, I don't really fish in game. It's not my thing. 13 Druid boy, let's do RFC. All right, I'm ready, man. I gotta go get a drink because I'm coming down. I got up super early today. I had caffeine earlier and I need to pick me up before we do RFC. Let me see, where do I turn these quests in? I already turn them in? Hang on, I'm feeling a little gypped. I already turned these quests in, huh? Free from hold completed. Oh, never mind. Guns of Northwatch completed. Okay, we're done. Massive XP. I guess they auto-completed it. What's my slash play? Let's see. So, minus an hour and a half. Like, I AFK'd on accident the other day. So, 11 hours? 11 hours to 18? Ooh, that doesn't sound good. On the 29th. Level 20 is my goal. Fishing's awesome. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend, Grump. You started it all. I almost made a fishing guide for your ass, and I wish I would have, man. I wanted a Michael Jordan moment. So I had this guy in my YouTube chat, right? And this was whenever I first started making YouTube, and you can't tell, you don't know how to handle with trolls. You know, what I would consider a troll. Dude was always talking about, he always made these references to fishing. Like, your video is great, but would have been way better if you talked about fishing. I'm like, bitch, why don't you do it? And I almost, so I made a guide, and he's like, it'd be better if it was a fishing guide. I almost turned around, bro. I mean, I could talk all I want. I didn't do it at the end of the day. But it would have been an MJ moment. It would have been a shove this in your face moment. Hell yeah, I'm making a fishing guide. Never did it though. All right, almost level 19. Yeah, I need to do an RFC now. I bet I'll go make a coffee. Okay, we're only, yeah, we already trained at 18. Do I have the org flight path? Don't tell me I scuffed it. I went to org earlier. I think I forgot it. I truly think I forgot the org flight path. I'm gonna be so mad at myself.
Not enough energy. I can't do that yet.
Yo, I'm gonna throw David Goggins on for you guys, and we'll talk about it as soon as I get back. It's gonna be like a 10-minute clip. I mean, listen to it if you want. If not, who cares? Yes. David Goggins. I don't even know where to begin because I really only want to show you guys this one clip of him. I mean, I saw a good clip of him a second ago. I found this guy a couple days ago, David Goggins, for the first time. And the guy's a character. Let me see, hang on. Let's see if I can find the 10-minute clip. This guy is intense, man. Alright. I mean, we'll try this. I don't know how solid it is. I think I watched through it one time. Yo, we gotta get back in 10 minutes to make sure we don't get any TOS pop-ups. Yeah.
It's too far away.
Yo, if y'all haven't seen this guy, I'm gonna let this play for 10 minutes. I gotta run across the street and grab like a monster or something. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna let this play. I'll probably be back before it's done, and I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone and watch it at the same time. Let me do that before I leave. Yo, this shit is hilarious, man. I'll at least give you something to look at while I'm gone if you're gonna stick around and watch the RFC run. Apparently Cargos is getting on, so you got another point of view there too. Big man helping us little guys out. Okay, let me make sure I'm watching this at the same time.
To get closer. I can't do that yet. Not enough.
And then I'll show you. So I want to watch the 1-minute clip with you guys that I really want to show on stream. I'll play that as soon as I get back.
Not enough energy.
This guy kills me. All right, all right. All right, we got 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Is it fine right there, I guess? There's no problem.
And this NFL football player comes up to me. He goes, "Goggins, can I ask you
All right, bet.
how do you keep that dog mentality?" I said, "Let me ask you a question. When you were younger, what did you want to be?"
It's too far away.
But once I got there, I lost that dog mentality. He had a finish line in his brain. Guess what? A true dog mentality, I have a dog at home. He never gets full. It's not enough you made to the NFL. It's not enough you ran a 5K. Win a 10K. It's not enough you became a doctor. Be a better doctor. It's not enough you lost 50 pounds. Go out there and do something with it. Guess what? It's 109 out here, but guess what? It's not enough. Stay hard. Today I was running. And this guy passes me in the car. And it's about 100 degrees out here, 70% humidity. And the guy comes back around, looks at me. He pulls his car by me and says, "Why are you out here?" I said, "Because you're not." Sometimes your motivation needs to be because no one else wants to do it. We need doctors, we need dentists, we need teachers. We also need savages. This message I do is not for everybody. Some want to say that soft bullshit about, do you have sunscreen on? This message is dangerous. It's too hot. I'm not asking you to be like me. Do you? Stay hard. Your mind's getting softer. We do that shit with everything in life. A lot of you are trying to find inspiration and motivation with a depressed mindset. You don't find inspiration by not living in the grip of life. You need to live in the grip of life to find inspiration. Put challenges in front of yourself. When you put a challenge in front of yourself and you attack it, that's when you find inspiration. Repetition every day. Stay hard. So the other day I got an email from this lady. She said she truly enjoyed my book, but as she read it, she thought I was just crazy. So after she read it, she put the book down and started living her normal life. Just going back paying bills, going back to work, complaining about shit. A few days later, she has time to think about the book, and it scared her. She thought, well, maybe this guy isn't crazy. And that's what scared her the most. Maybe he's here trying to show us human potential, what we're all capable of doing. A lot of people like to put titles on other people who are doing extraordinary things. It makes them feel better about themselves. Gives them a get out of jail free card. I'm not crazy, I'm just not like you. In sports, there's a thing out there called load management. A lot of us like to load manage our lives. When you do that, you can find yourself right at normal. Get off that, stay hard. With success in life comes more haters. Don't make them hurt your feelings. Use them for fuel. Use them for energy. In times of need, put them on mental Rolodex in your mind. And when you don't want to do shit, roll through your brain. Pull up that person who said you couldn't do something. Weren't fast enough, good enough, smart enough. Use them for energy. Instead of killing them with kindness, torture them with success. In life, we have to continue pushing past the odds. Use everything this world has to give you for fuel. Stay hard.
And anybody, not just Navy SEALs, but anybody that can accomplish anything that is hard, the only separator is that they really want to be there. There's some people that get inspired, and that inspiration moves them to try to do something. But the inspiration is very high right now in this nice environment. We're in a nice environment. I watched a movie about some badasses, you're inspired. But the second you're not in this environment and you're actually doing what inspired you, that suck factor is now real. You're now there. And only those people who have been there 1,000,000 times in their minds and have lived in that water and have suffered 1,000,000 times and realize my legs may break, my knee may break, my bones will hurt. I will be the coldest I've been in my life. I will be miserable. And accept that. When you get in a horrible situation in life, your mind immediately says, everybody's does, even if you want to be there. But it starts to have all these different questions in your mind in that 1 second. And it says, okay, why are you here? Why are you doing this? Why this? Why that? And then you start to say to yourself, if you don't want to be there that bad, I have a beautiful life. I'm not going to break my body up to do this. Your mind starts to say, yeah, this is stupid. But if you are already knowing that this is going to happen to you, you have all the answers to these questions that your mind starts to give you when you're in suffer mode.
Try to be 10% better than you were last week. So if you're running 30 miles a week, run 33. If you're swimming 500 meters, swim 550. The more you walk away from accountability, the weaker you become. Find yourself in the grip of life. You can't find yourself by doing nothing. So there's a lot of pockets of weakness nowadays. And we try to fill those pockets with lies. I did it for many years. So, I'm out here in Colorado for a conference. I go to the gym and this trainer calls me over to talk to this group of people he's training. He says, hey man, what are you doing out here? So I tell him. He says, what kind of workouts are you doing? I said, well, one workout I'm doing, I'm climbing up this mountain, 3,000 feet, 3 miles. But I do that every day. So the next day I'm out looking for him. Didn't see him. A couple days later, looking for him. Didn't see him. So here I am on the mountain again, climbing it. And there's a gondola that takes you up, takes you down. I'm going up it. I see a gondola, we're about 5 minutes to the top. I look up at the gondola, I see him, face pressed up against the window, looking at me, our eyes meet. Don't talk about it, be about it. Practice what you preach. Stay hard.
I like suffering in the way that is competitive, that brings out the absolute best in me and in everybody else. I want to see what you're made of. I want to see, like, almost like the Colosseum in Rome. You can't do it by writing a paper. And what I found out, and the only message I want to get across to people is, once you change one thing, your mindset, you can attack everything. People know, how do you keep grinding every day? You have to make those insecurities, those fears. Like when I was 300 pounds, I didn't have any drive. I was an insecure, lying kid, afraid. I had to look at my insecurities and in my fear and find drive in that. We're all looking for passion. Passion's all around you. All the energy and fuel you need is right in yourself. It's all there. You got a lot of stuff to do to overcome. And, you know, that's where I found it. I found it right there in my own insecurities. I found drive in my own insecurities. And that's the most powerful thing in the world. When you can find drive in your own doubt, fear, insecurities, you become very unstoppable. I'm in search for a feeling. I'm not in search for a trophy. I'm not in search for love. I'm not in search for more followers on Instagram or social media. When I started this journey years ago, and I realized that I'm going to be somebody, and I'm searching for a feeling of true victory for myself, and only myself. The second I shut out the whole world and realized that one thing, that I am in this world alone. I'm fighting this race by myself, weakest person on the planet Earth. My goal in life was to, in my mind, believe I'm the hardest man alive. And that's why the whole thing is can't hurt me. That's what it's about. It's about whatever you think you are, you have to make that dream a reality. But that's where the hard part is. There's a lot of successful people in this world who still feel empty inside. And they wonder why they still feel empty. So they try to make another million, 2 million, 3 million. Let's buy a new car, a new house, new boat. Let's buy more of everything. At the end of the day, it still feels real empty inside. For me, I wasn't even successful. I just felt empty. So I was trying to hide my insecurities. You have to be there but not there at the graduation.
Okay.
You gotta be there in the worst
In the
parts
suffering.
that you know over and over again. You gotta live that in your mind. Dressing it up. Same thing with life. If you don't get inside your soul, inside your heart, and fix it, be willing to go to war with yourself.
How many people left?
Stay hard.
Oh, fat stacks. We lost 20. Guys, are you ready for an RFC? Yo. Did that not get you hyped? Man, David Goggins is the David Goggins is the 21st century Chuck Norris, man. So here's my 2 cents on the whole thing. I'll show you this other clip. Hang on, I gotta find the name of it. Oh man, this clip kills me. Let me see what you guys thought about that. Let's pull up the chat. Let's do a little chit chat. Stay hard. Yeah, this guy's story's legit. Okay, so whenever I watch motivational videos, it's not the end all be all. Whatever message they're preaching, I don't necessarily find, you know, the message in their speech, in their truth. A lot of different people say the meaning of life is a bunch of different things, right? So this is my first thing. I don't worship what these guys say or worship who they are. Like they've got great things to say, but hang on, let me find this. They have great things to say. I can find it here actually. But you can't, and he said it in one of his clips. Like you can't. You're feeling good right now. You just watched a video, but what about whenever it gets hard? This video is not going to help you. Nothing the guy says is gonna push you forward, right? Whenever the going gets tough. You're not going to hear the guy. I mean, yeah, you can apply some of these practices to your life. Just be a hard ass. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has a cure to cancer or a cure to life, and the answer is the same thing. Just do it. It really is, guys. There's a million different ways to say just do it. So you can apply this guy's actions to your life, but one thing, and I really feel like this was what I was supposed to get out of, what I'm supposed to get out of videos, is it made me think. And I talked about it at the beginning of stream. I said, damn. I've got life pretty good, man. I've never struggled a day in my life, never really even paid bills. I'm just now starting to pay bills. I'm graduating in May. My dad footed the bill. He's paying for my rent. He's paying for my school. I'm getting married in May. I graduate in May. One thing I got out of it out of that video was, damn, I wish I wasn't so spoiled. I wish I had that drive. I wish I had, you know, and you hear it all the time, like, privileged kids are at a disadvantage. Like, if you grew up in the Bronx, man, in the hood, like, you got a leg up on everybody. You do, because you've gone through hell, and it's really interesting too. I'm at a Christian college, and so one of my technology capstone courses, my teacher has dedicated his time. He's like, dude, screw assignments. We need to talk about real life and what you're about to enter into, because I've seen too many technology students go into the field as soon as they graduate, have no life skills, don't know what to do. We did a project in technology capstone, and it didn't help them for shit. Like, so it's really neat. My teacher today, he talked about how to get friends, like how to create friendships, what friendships look like whenever you get older. You know, once you move from a college environment to a real world environment. A super interesting class. But you know, that David Goggins, man, guy was 20 years in the military. He had a rough upbringing. He was bullied as a kid. He was 300 pounds. He overcame, and the guy has a drive. He's got passion. I wish one thing I got out of it was, damn, I need to go through it. I gotta go through the fire. I gotta be tested, right? If I'm gonna get anything out of life. And so David Goggins is cool. Like I said, I don't see the guy as a god, as a religion. I think he does things great. Is it the meaning of life? You know, sure. And granted, guys, I come from a Christian college, Christian background. Here's the beauty of it. Regardless if this guy is speaking the meaning of life or just raw passion, I think I can reflect my beliefs and who I am through my actions. I don't have to talk about it. I mean, how I hold myself on stream, how I do things on stream, how competitive I am, how many videos I put out a week, how seriously I take my content creation, that's a reflection of my meaning of life. And then you can ask the nitty-gritty questions, how'd you do it, Gray? You know, and then I'll tell you. But anyways, just my 2 cents on the matter. I really like watching motivational people and trying to figure out what you can learn from these guys. Let's get an RFC going, guys. We're getting a little too real. Oh, wait. I got to show you the funny clip, though. What school am I at? I'm at ACU, man, in Abilene. Yeah, I'm not even worried about saying it. Abilene Christian University. Yeah, West Texas, bro. I'm in the middle of nowhere at a Christian college. It's a good college town. It was a good experience. I can't wait to get the heck out of here. Absolutely nothing to do. I grew up around Austin and San Antonio down in South Texas, huge cities, right? So I'm ready to get the heck out of Abilene. All right, RFC, let's go. Is Cargo's on? Start streaming yet? I can't hit level 19 before we start. Can I complete hidden enemies without leveling up? I think I can, because I won't get XP from killing those guys because I'm 18. All right, let's burn some time, guys. How old are you, brother? 22? CMD, I'm 23, man. It's me, you, and Kargs. Oh, we got thick meta on the Shaman. We got a 14 troll Shaman. We got a 15 troll warrior, Cargos. We got a 17